Okay. All right. We're recording.
Right on, man.
All right. Here we go. So thank you, Ben. Welcome to No Echo. We have Septic Fog, Ben, from Iron Fortress Records, the man, the myth. So for one, I'm wondering, the guys I've talked to, the fellow metalheads, are wondering how did you get here? I mean, it seems massive. Like you're doing so much of the distro and the label. I mean, I guess from in a short synopsis, how did we get from start of one Ben to Iron Fortress, Septic Fog to releasing? Yeah, he had what 2-3 albums this Friday even.
Yeah, it was a lot. My release cadence so far this year has been a little crazy, but that's hopefully going to slow down as we move into spring of this year because it's killing me. As fun as it is, it's killing me.
Well, how'd you start? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've been into heavy music, extreme metal, metalcore, hardcore since I was 12. Probably first show I went to was AFI when they were touring on the Art of Drowning. A friend of ours, me and my friends took us out to Lawrence, Kansas to see him at a place called the Bottleneck. And then after that, man, I was hooked. I played in bands all the way through middle school and high school, hardcore, metalcore bands. And then I kind of took a break from playing music when I went to college, and then in my early 30s, kind of really started getting back into it once I kind of had settled a little bit. And then after mass collecting for many years and not having starting a family, didn't have a ton of time to go to as many shows as I'd like to. So I was like, how do I get re-involved in this? I was like, why not just start a label? And I just one random December night in 2023, I think it was. I was like, let's do it. I had the LLC the next day, and my first pre-order was up about 2 months later after that.
Wow. So, I mean, that's, it feels like Iron Fortress has been around forever, though. I mean, it feels like you've been around since 2020, like since that big tape explosion when all the metalheads went nuts and they got locked up in the room. And they all started doing demos and they all started doing boutique labels, and everyone had a tape or death metal tape out. But I feel like you were there, right with everything.
I mean, I started doing vinyl only. My idea was, do you play games at all?
I'm not much of a gamer, but I mean, I know this. I know the realm.
I used to have a ton of time to game, not so much these days. But there's this company called Limited Run Games, and they would take digital only titles once the video game digital revolution took over, and they started releasing them in limited formats. And I was like, I would love to do that, but for death metal stuff that's super underground that you don't think would ever get printed on vinyl. The first band I hit up was Piss Rot, and then we did their first EP on a 12-inch. Soon realized after putting out 3 LPs that is a very expensive and can be a risky endeavor, and had recently at that time fallen in love with tapes. Before I was just mainly vinyl and I was a CD guy, growing up, and I started hand making and duplicating my own tapes for a long time. I had a whole tape series called Torture Tapes. Like I'd make them in house. I would get everything professionally printed, but then I would actually duplicate and make and assemble, hand number all the tapes. There's like there were like runs of 30 super limited stuff from the first probably year and a half of the label. So I was boutique at one point in time as well. So
right, okay, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's where we would spawn, like in with death metal and tapes. I don't know why it makes so much sense, but it does.
It's like horror movies in VHS, man. It's a brutal and macabre style of music, and those old retro sounding and looking products just fit really well with the music.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm a big VHS collector, and I gotta have the tape, man. I gotta have the tape.
Well, guys like you and me too that grew up back then. I mean, tapes weren't even really. I mean, they were around when obviously in the 80s and 90s, but they weren't super prominent. And then they had that huge explosion. But so did VHS recently. The secondhand market for VHS sales right now is nuts.
Oh, it's nuts. And the fact that people are grading tapes, like get out of here. Like that's terrible. I mean, just driving prices right up. Yep. So I guess you've been at it for a while now. What have been some new struggles that have come along? I know shipping prices have just gone up and up. I notice you always offer insurance, which I think is great as great as a business idea to cover everybody's to spend the 89 cents, whatever.
It's cheap, and you'd be surprised how many people don't actually buy the insurance, but I do recommend it. Honestly, I don't have that many shipping issues. The holidays can cause a lot of problems, but that's because the post office is shipping billions of packages, more than they would say in October. You know what I mean? But most of the time, it's really not that much of an issue. I recommend throwing the extra $1 on there. Why not? But because CD cases, vinyl, all of the stuff that we deal with is plastic is very, very fragile. So,
all right. So I guess for you, for Iron Fortress, I mean, this Friday alone, there was you got Deteriorate, which is awesome that you got that on the label. That's really awesome.
Yeah, classic band.
Yeah, like that's so great to see with the new new music out, and the Tomb Seeker.
Oh, dude, that's my first local signing too. So I'm located in Kansas City. We don't have what I would say a robust scene here, more of a hardcore scene, less of a death metal scene. And Tomb Seeker just absolutely shreds, dude. We just had their CD release show last Friday night, and they just killed it. They're so good, and that record is pummeling, to say the least.
Yeah, that record is top notch. I mean, I listened to it. There was an early YouTube streaming, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Check that out. It's so good. I guess, how do you keep quality up with your label? Because every band you have are put together. They have good recordings. If not, it meets the aesthetic, or they have good artwork. They have promotional material. I mean, your bands are serious working bands, which I think is great for a label that's a serious working label. When you combine the two, it makes for a great product. But I guess, how do you find these bands? Do they come to you? Are you like, do you get emails? I mean, I guess
Yeah, some stuff gets submitted. I would say the majority of it is me just hunting them down. I mean, I'm an avid death metal listener, right? I not only have to keep up with it for my own personal taste, see what's coming out and what I'm interested in, but also for the distro too. I have to know every band, every label, what new releases, what new singles are popping off, what formats are being, produced by what labels. It's a madhouse, man. The market death metal is such an amazing place right now, but at the same time, it's a little oversaturated. And you mentioned the quality of the music. So I wouldn't say like when I first started out, I was focused on overall quality. A lot of the stuff, when you're printing 30 runs of tapes, you're not going to get really, really, really good bands that want to do that, right? Because they're getting contacted by labels that are going to do prints of 200. I couldn't offer enough to gain the quality of music that I can now. But now that I'm a full-fledged label, I have a set of criteria that I look for, regarding sound quality. It's all just curated. It's just what I like. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It's not a crazy process, but all the promotion stuff is all handled by me. So all the imagery you see behind all the content across social media, YouTube, all that stuff is all created in-house.
That's awesome, Ben, because like I follow you on social media. You're always posting promo material, always posting what's the new next band up. If not, you're posting what's still in the shop to get to sell. And the other day you posted something about having, I think you had a tape in stock still left over, I think from 24. I can't think of the band right now, but you were like, of no surprise, there's still cassettes left.
Oh, so Putrid, their album from last year. It's in Romanian, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce the actual title. Padredeo. That's the band from Brazil. That's what you're referencing. That's because we were talking about tapes and the boom in popularity. I am an avid believer that the tape craze, if it's not dying, it might already be dead. CD sales 3-1, man, easily. Like I blasted through that first print of CDs that we released back in August, and I still have over half my tape print left for sale. They just don't sell as well. And that was just kind of like a little jab at, the tape world in general. I don't even buy CDs anymore. I'm still a hardcore tape collector myself. So it's sad to see that that's where we're at. But at the same time, I get it. The CD is of higher quality most of the time. Tapes are super expensive to manufacture now, to the point where, say you have a 200 run of tapes versus a 200 run of CDs. CDs are going to be cheaper.
Right, it's cheaper to make, and like they sell just as much.
They sell better. They sell better, and they sound better. They're going to last longer on your shelf. They're just a higher quality product.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Niche. I still want to print them, and I still do print tapes. It's just not for every release. If it's like a band that's getting introed on the label, I'll probably start with a CD, depending on what type of release it is. If it's a full-fledged album, I'm more likely to want to do a tape for it. If it's just an EP, CD is just the kind of way to go to test the waters. Because just because I want to work with you and we do put something out, doesn't mean we're going to continue working together. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. If the EP sells well on a CD, yeah, the next album you do a tape, or you do more. I get it. I mean, that's a great. I mean, that makes sense, because if you're going to do an EP and you're going to spend half the money on a CD to sell it at the same price as a tape, might as well send that off to see how it does, and then invest more later. That makes complete sense.
And I'm trying to keep tape sales up by still printing them and keeping them at the price point that I've had them at for the last year, even though my margin is less and they cost more to manufacture, because I want to entice people to buy them. I don't want to sell $12, $13 tapes, because then I'll never sell them. You know what I mean? The beautiful thing about tapes was that they were cheap to buy. Nowadays, not so much.
Right. Once you get to shipping and handling and everything, same difference. Might as well buy a record. But record prices are like even crazier, even so much more crazier. Like if I had the choice, I would always go for the tape, just because of the niche value of it, or just because I think they're a lot easier to store than anything. But even though I grew up with CDs and I do appreciate them and do like them, but I just to think of a collection of certain CDs again, I don't know if I can do it. I have a bunch of tapes, bunch of vinyl, but
I go for vinyl first of all. But honestly, there's nothing better than like a kick-ass, grimy death metal demo on a cassette tape, man.
Yeah, no, it's something special. And to just like highlight, so in the metal world, so just like I got one order from your distro. I got Stenched,
nice,
Sick Tape from Extremely Rotten, one of the best European labels I can think of.
Yep.
That Brick and Mortar, one day I will visit. But
also, David's a kick-ass guy and plays in so many amazing bands, dude.
Right, and I got Seep also on the same label, nice. And then I got something from Gurgle and Gore, with big Pathetic Grave. This one,
good album too. Yep,
this great album.
Speaking of Seep, I actually worked with them on my second release I did on vinyl. Their original EP they put out. That was my second release.
Yeah,
way back in the day.
Yeah, well, I saw the Apparition you did, real early. That band's great. I love that Apparition band.
Oh yeah, the one that was on. Well, actually they're defunct now, sadly.
Are they really? Yeah, they were on Profound Lore or something.
Yeah, there was a Profound Lore release. He doesn't always, if you notice, a lot of these larger labels, even with bands like Apparition or Cosmic Putrefaction, another Profound Lore release that I did on tape for them. They don't do, Metal Blade, Relapse. They don't do a ton of tapes, man.
No.
They just don't sell. In my opinion, it's like, dude, you guys already have the money. Spend the $400 and have it on all three formats. But I guess they just view it as a huge waste of time and money.
Well, I mean, like, I'm just saying, you got like the pick of the quality of bands you have, and like the music that stands for itself, and you have so many great bands on this label. And then looking back at their Septic Fog playlist on Spotify, you can go from start to finish, like in chronological order. Yep. And it's an amazing display of death metal, extreme music. There is some, I wouldn't say it's not deathcore. I mean, but like
it all blends these days, man. There's so many influences from every subgenre possible. You could consider a lot of some of the brutal death metal stuff these days that blends heavily into deathcore stuff too. But deathcore also came from brutal death metal. So is it even deathcore or is it brutal?
Right.
Death metal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At this point, you're arguing semantics. Really, it's
if it's good, it's good. I don't care about the genre tag. That's just from promotion only.
Right. So, talking about boutique labels and is there other labels and distros that you work with or that you like that you want to point out or share too? For example, I talked to Johnny from Frozen Screams a ton, and I know he's doing now your special releases for Iron Fortress.
Yeah,
'Cause
Johnny's amazing, dude. He was one of the first guys that I got in contact with when I started doing this. At the time, I was already buying his tapes on his label, anyways, and then we got in conversations and just became best friends that talked on the daily. So
yeah,
he started Icebreaker, which is his hardcore label, all New Jersey stuff. And so Frozen Screams, he actually just announced recently that is taking the back seat, besides some niche things that he might release here and there. But he's such a creative person. Like I consider myself pretty creative with a lot of things too. Like I said, I do all my own layouts, all my own content. But dude, Johnny's like beyond the veil with some of this stuff. Like he just goes bonkers with it. So yeah,
no.
if I have something, not every special edition, because some of them are just like posters or split mat, but stuff like we did for the Mortuary Ghoul release back in September that came with like the cutout face mask of Leatherface and that sweet poster that he designed to make it look like an old old retro poster you'd see in the movie theater. Like he just kills it with stuff like that. Like it's just beyond where my creativity lies.
Well, I mean, that's a brilliant decision to have Johnny do, a special thing, because he does a great job at that. He's always
He's the best at it.
DIY, putting in the time and doing it himself. It's great. Yeah. So I like that you guys are combining forces. That like Johnny's not done with Frozen Screams. It's just taking like you said, a backseat or.
Yeah, hopefully he'll keep doing zines too. Icebreaker's just his main thing that's actually taken off and doing well. Plus he loves death metal. Don't get me wrong, but he's a hardcore kid at heart.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the stuff he's releasing was like re-releasing Sky Keep Falling and all these like great metalcore, hardcore releases. Great. So for Iron Fortress, the Septic Fog, where's Septic Fog come from?
Oh, dude, that's a long-running joke from an old metal friend of mine. You know how like metal dudes and bands sometimes they'll have like their metal name or whatever it is. That's literally all that was. Just a drunken night joking around, and he gifted me that moniker, and I just kind of ran with it for fun and kind of intertwined it into my promotion and my whole aesthetic, I guess you could say.
I know. I was telling my wife, I'm talking to Septic Fog this weekend. So I guess and now, I mean, you're doing a lot. Obviously, Friday was a big day for you. What's for the future? You said 26 is a big year for you. You're doing a lot, but you might slow down. What's coming up on the horizon?
Well, when I say slow down, I mean I'm not going to release 10 albums every month, because that's just absurd. Most labels do that in a year. Now, obviously, a lot of stuff I do is only on one format, so it makes it a little bit easier. But sometimes I feel like it's flooding a little bit too much, and it might be hard for people to keep up with what I'm doing, because not every release I have is a band that's like signed to the label. Some of the stuff is just like a license, like what I do with Profound Lore, right?
Okay, gotcha, right.
Yeah, then there's bands that are actually like what I consider on the label. But my main focus for this year is just looking for higher quality stuff. Stuff like Infinite Misery, that's coming out. In 2 weeks.
I mean, the Undeath song with that song release was awesome. Undeath also been there since those boutique labels started going, and they're huge now, which is well deserved, really.
And you guys just premiered the newest, most recent single from Hammer.
Yeah,
for their debut album.
Yeah, which is when's that coming out?
It is coming out on February 27th.
We
got one more. We got pre-orders going right now for all three formats. That's another thing too, is I'm trying to do more than just CD, more than just tape. I'm going back to producing vinyl again, which is great for specific albums that I think will do well enough to warrant spending thousands of dollars on vinyl. But yeah, that's going to be killer too. And then I'm dropping a new single tomorrow from a Canadian brutal death metal band called Bayonet Dismemberment. Super heavy. Song features Suffocation. Probably one of the hardest songs you'll hear all year. It is not only stupid catchy, but it's just absolutely brutal, dude. It's so good. So I did a small tape run for their last EP last year, but this is kind of like their reintroduction on the label with their brand new EP. That's by far their most polished.
What's the band and song again?
Bayonet Dismemberment.
Bayonet Dismemberment. Dismemberment.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, dude.
Yeah. So look out for that, because I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, you'll love it, I'm sure. If you like the other stuff that I do, that's more on the heavier side, not like because I would say I'm fairly eclectic with what I choose to release. Like I'll do a thrash record, like I just did with Emaciated. I'll do old school death metal, hard death stuff like Hammer, tons of brutal death metal. It's kind of all over the place.
Well, I know that with oh, I forgot what I was saying. The release there, with that new song coming out, and you working with like so many top notch labels, like that Glass Bone song with
Glasswell, they're
Felici,
from France. Yeah.
having Suffocation on there. I mean, like again, it's just like such big bands, doing stuff with the bands you're working with. Is that must feel good? That must be great. I mean, you have
It's great.
songs,
It's great for promotion. I'll tell you that much. But it
right?
also elevates the music too, because features are cool to have for sure, especially when they're a dope band.
Right. No, definitely. And so, well, I guess, Ben, if there's anything you want to add here or you want to shout out to anybody or um, any final thoughts?
Nothing super crucial. We talked about Johnny. He's my biggest shout out. I'll give a quick shout out to Oliver, who's my main promo dude. We linked up back last August, and he has just been absolutely killing it, dude. The amount of premieres that he's got me for No Echo and Disciple, just pivotal. That's one of the growth metrics for me, is to not only, I don't want to do this by myself all the time. It's a lot of work doing the label and the store itself. So it's nice to have some extra hands in the pot.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
create
ask.
success.
With you doing it all, is there time for another person? Like, or with it being with the distro and the shipping, like, I guess are you done with your day job? Is this full time now, Iron Fortress?
This is full time. It's been, so 2 years ago I've been running the label as a hobby for a year, and I got laid off from my big boy job, and I was like, I'm just gonna do the label full time. I had already, I went to school for business admin. I had an operations job that was working. I've done retail for a long time, management, just kind of running everyone else's businesses, but never did my
Right.
own.
Right. Yeah.
I think I have the gist of it, so I just did it.
Well, from where I'm sitting, you're doing great, Ben. Iron Fortress is, I mean, I got a sticker on the TV. I'm a big fan of the label again. For just to run through like bands I've ordered, Gourd Embrace, dude, that band.
Yeah.
That came out.
That band is next up, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
they're gonna be my first band that I'm gonna have to be like, oh shit, you're on Century Media now.
Right.
Guess we can't do the next record, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Obviously, I want to be the next Century Media. I'm not gonna sell out the underground to become the next Century Media. I always want to be death metal only, right? But I'm aware that I'm a stepping stone label, and I'm okay with bringing bands on board, hyping them up, helping them pursue an actual career in death metal, which is very hard to do nowadays.
Right. No, I mean, kudos to you to having a career in death metal. That's all of our death metal heads want. So bravo.
It's stressful, but it's fun.
Yeah, but like,
couldn't ask for anything else, I don't think.
Right. No, it's stressful, but I mean that if that's the payoff, I mean that's the deal. So great. But so I think we're set here. I don't have any more questions. Do you have anything to add or anything you'd like to say?
Follow the socials, man. Hit up my link tree. Take a look at everything. Glad you shouted out the Spotify playlist. I didn't know if anyone actually ever listened to that, but it's
dude, yeah.
Not that I love Spotify per se. I'm obviously a physical media guy, but at this point in time, any promotion's good promotion. But yeah, follow the channels, subscribe to the newsletter. I release a lot. Sometimes I know it's probably hard to keep up with, but across all of my socials, my newsletter, the news section on the website, I feel like you could find what you're looking for and what's coming out, and what's already out fairly easily. If you look for it, it's all there. Also, hit me up, contact me via email. I answer every single DM. Let's chat about some death metal, man. Let's build the community.
Sounds good. No, that's what it's all about. Community. This world is great. I mean, I found so many friends in it. I mean, I know you have. So
yep.
This is great. Well, I guess this concludes it for No Echo for now. We'll talk again later. I'm not sure I'm going to interview you next, but I'm sure it'll be someone cool.
Awesome. Right. Thanks, Wyatt. I appreciate you talking to me.
All right. Have a good one.